Taylor Moore in back deep to receive for the Deeks. And B.T. Potter set to kick things off for the Tigers. What a time to be alive. A touchback, and Greg McElroy, this Wake Forest offense, certainly unique.
Very different. They do what you call kind of a slow ride mesh, but it's based in triple option principles. If you look at where the mesh point happens, the ball goes into the belly of the running back at about 4 yards. That decision happens very quickly. Here's a traditional triple option offense. The Army team right here, 3 yards. Mesh takes place a little bit behind the center in a good spot, but similar spot. But here's what gets really difficult. If they get you on islands, they rock you to sleep with that RPO action. They get one-on-ones, and they have an elite wide receiver core on the outside. They throw it over your head with those one-on-ones. So a very difficult offense to diagnose and defend.
Sam Hartman, the Wake Forest quarterback, and he's going to be sacked back inside the 20. James Skalski, the senior, brings him down.
Not the start you want if you're Wake Forest, but this is the challenge. This Clemson team and their personnel, they're going to bring pressure. They're going to bring blitzes. Brent Venables is going to be very aggressive to try to speed up that slow mesh that Wake Forest likes to run.
2nd and 16. Hartman with time across the middle, incomplete. And just like that, Greg, it's 3rd down.
And these are the situations you have to avoid if you're Wake Forest. You have to stay on schedule because this Clemson pass rush, it was somewhat stagnant the first 7 weeks. The last 3, they've started to come alive.
Christian Turner in the backfield. He'll get the start today in place of Justice Ellison, who's injured. Pressure. Hartman flings it. Midfield, incomplete, broken up, contact, no penalty marker down. Looking for A.T. Perry. Mario Goodrich in coverage, 3 and out for Wake Forest.
A lot of contact on the outside. Thought the official might be reaching for the flag. As you can see, Goodrich, that left arm really grabbing the wide receiver as Hartman clearly wanted it. This big wide receiver, A.T. Perry, at 6'5", 206 pounds. Probably should have had a pass interference. A little too much contact, I think, against the wide receiver.
Ivan Moore, the punter for Wake. Career long of 58 last season against Clemson. And Will Brown drifts back deep to receive. Late fair catch. Signaled for and made at the 31 as we check in for the first time with Alyssa Lang.
Well, guys, that first Wake possession was exactly what Clemson linebacker James Skalski said they had to do all day. That's attack the quarterback, make this offense go fast. He called him weird. He called him different. It means we have to win all of our one-on-one matchups, make sure we are playing sound because you can't give them anything. He talked about knowing those wide receivers are good when they're in one-on-one battles as well. So getting to the quarterback was their number one emphasis. They did it really well just now.
Will Sweeney gets the start with all the injuries at wide receiver for the Tigers this afternoon. And Will Shipley, the running back, on first down, incomplete, looking for Davis Allen.
And DJ Uiagalelei, one of the biggest guys coming into the league, or coming into this season that you thought would be in the Heisman mix, just hasn't ever really materialized. You see the inaccurate throw there. He's been very up and down, trying to find his confidence here as the offense trying to find its footing.
Shipley out a week ago against Connecticut. And a big run straight ahead. Broke through the line of scrimmage. Stopped at the 49 by J.J. Roberts. That's a gain of 17.
And this is a great job by Shipley in the open field, making a guy miss. Good cutback. He's got an opportunity at the line of scrimmage to make the tackle. But you saw Mustafa just miss. Great move there by the true freshman.
He has been really the lone bright spot for this Clemson offense. Time, Uiagalelei, pass caught, Collins has it, and another first down. That's Beaux Collins, a freshman from L.A.
And if you watch DJ Uiagalelei, he's so gifted, has so much talent, but it's been very up and down. When his feet are set and he knows where he's going with the football, he's decisive. He can make difficult throws look very easy, like he did right there on the deep corner.
After a gain of 16, Tigers on the move. Their first possession, Shipley straight ahead. He'll push the pile. And a gain of 3 yards on first down.
In this offense, a lot of blame has gone to DJ Uiagalelei, understandably so. The quarterback's naturally going to be the lightning rod for criticism. Oftentimes, too often, in my opinion. But he hasn't done it by himself. This offense has had a lot of adversity, a lot of injuries, and it's had a bunch of different faces around him throughout the course of this 10-game season.
And it's so important for him to get off to a great start today, just from a confidence standpoint. Allen was open, and the pass sails high and incomplete.
That's one that DJ's got to hit. And if you watch him, his miss has been a little high. He's early. There's a good read on the RPO, but it's difficult to overthrow a guy that's 6'6". And you see a little early, a little bit too far out in front, just missing off the mark for the quarterback.
Just the one completion thus far. 3rd down and 7. Pressure, backside, Uiagalelei, incomplete. Beaux Collins breaking open again, and it's 4th down.
Let's see whether or not Clemson's going to decide to go for it. They will not. But a couple of errant throws there. That last one, because of the cornerback pressure, DJ did a good job of releasing it. Had he held it any longer to allow that receiver to get into the middle of the field and take advantage of that hole in the zone, he would have likely been sacked. And to the backside, it could have very easily resulted in a fumble.
So here's B.T. Potter, 14 of 18 on this season. This attempt from 50. And Potter, plenty of leg strength, drills it right through. Clemson on the board first, 3-0. Well, an interesting start in Death Valley. Wake Forest on the road. Work to do.
Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you.
Score, Clemson leading 10th ranked Wake Forest. Greg McElroy, Roy Philpott, Alyssa Lane. Great to have you with us. After 3 and out by the Wake offense, Deeks will go back to work as B.T. Potter sails it deep into the end zone. Alyssa Lane.
Guys, you talk about this Wake Forest quarterback, Sam Hartman. His teammates can't say enough good things about not only how he plays the game of football, but how he's led this offense and this team throughout this very successful season. I talked to Taylor Morin, one of the wide receivers here at Wake Forest, and he said he's a competitor. He's a winner. It doesn't matter the situation. He's going to get it done. He's going to find a way. He gives a heck of a pregame speech as well every single week, always getting guys fired up, coaching guys differently, and they love that he puts his body on the line no matter what. It makes them want to play that much harder for him.
Yeah, we enjoyed talking with him this week, Alyssa. Hartman pulls it out, pass is caught, and the first big gainer, A.T. Perry.
If you look at Hartman, man, he's just a warrior. I love his mentality. The guy's willing to throw his body in front of edge rushers. He's willing to do whatever it takes to give this team a chance.
After a gain of 16, Turner gets a touch. Bolts ahead to the 45 and stopped there. Trenton Simpson, Nolan Turner combined to make that stop.
This offense puts a lot on the quarterback. He's got to be really sharp with his eyes and make great decisions as he's riding that slow mesh in the backfield.
After a gain of 4, Hartman, pressure, down he goes. Sack number 2 for the Clemson defense. Eptiosa Rubin.
Yeah, you're going to see him. He works across the center's face. This will be very difficult for Wake Forest offense if they can't hold up in protection. This Clemson defensive line, supremely talented, starting to reach their potential the last few weeks.
Here comes pressure. Hartman! Sacked! Trenton Simpson bolts through. And the Clemson defense flexing early at home.
This is just a great design here. You're going to see on the left side, he's going to loop around again. They get you on islands, one-on-one, and then boom! Trenton Simpson loops right around the center, finds some open space. It's Henry, excuse me. Finds some open space and makes a great play in the backfield. 3 sacks already for this Clemson pass rush.
So Moore back on the field after that initial first down by Wake Forest. Will Brown on the fly. Our first check-in with the studio this afternoon. Here's Matt Berry. That's what Ohio State has been doing lately. Greg, you guys saw them last week. That offense in rhythm right now.
Very much so. And now all their weapons are rounding into form. They have 3 elite wide receivers. And C.J. Stroud does a really good job of being accurate with the football and getting it out on time. The biggest problem for Ohio State is on the defensive side, and that's even starting to round into shape as well.
Big one at the horseshoe. Big one here. Uyunglele fires it to Davis Allen. Pass was low. Hauls it in, crossing the 30.
And if you look at the offensive coordinator for Clemson, Tony Elliott, kind of had to deal with some undue criticism, man. I mean, they have been a little short-handed throughout the course of the season, but see here early in this plan, trying to get some short, easy completions at the beginning of the drive to make sure his quarterback feels comfortable.
And a brief stoppage. Our referee, Jeff Heiser.
First charge timeout. Clemson.
So a timeout on the field. We'll step aside as well. 2nd and 3 coming up when we return.
College football is presented by Marathon, driven forward, and in part by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
Senior day in Death Valley. Will Sweeney got the start because of all the injuries at wide receiver. His mom, Kathleen, and of course the head coach. First time son of the head coach at Clemson's gotten a start in a game since 1963. And you see Jake Venables also a factor with his Clemson defense. Honored earlier. Greg McElroy, Roy Philpott, Alyssa Lane. A crisp Saturday afternoon in Clemson. 10th ranked Wake Forest with a win today. They'll clinch the Atlantic Division. Tigers have it. 2nd and 3. Quick toss to Allen. That'll move the sticks. Stop near the 40.
I think for Clemson, the biggest thing is just get your quarterback comfortable. Short passes, easy passes. Because as he gets rolling, as he starts to gain some confidence in what is kind of a mix and match receiver core, that will start to open up some of the run game.
Fake it to Shipley. Uyunglele, plenty of time, wants to heave it, finally does, and nearly picked off. Gavin Holmes with the coverage, the freshman.
Oh man, very lucky there that Gavin Holmes wasn't looking in the backfield, because if he turns his head around just a little bit quicker, this ball is going to be intercepted. As you can see, the ball's thrown way behind and late too. You can't be late. I don't care how big your arm is. You can't be late that far down the field.
Couple of misses. Uyunglele, Shipley over the left side for a nominal gain.
I think the run game too needs to be big for Clemson today, and not just Will Shipley. It has to be DJ involved in the run game as well. He's not at 100%. That right knee in the brace, it's been a little bit beat up this year, but he needs to be a factor with his legs as well. Take some of the pressure off that offensive line.
3rd down and long. Uyunglele with a sprained PCL. You see the massive knee brace that Greg just referred to. His mobility certainly in question. Surveys backside pressure. Somehow escapes. And a deep heave. Collins is there. Running inside the 10. It'll be 1st down and goal. Oh my goodness.
This was the guy that we expected. This was the guy that we talked about all off season. The Ben Roethlisberger clone, strong in the pocket, evades one tackler, evades another, throws one 55 yards downfield off his back foot. And the receiver makes a great play. Beaux Collins high pointing the football. Just an amazing play by the quarterback and a great catch by Collins.
A freshman for 52. 1st down and goal. Uyunglele towards the goal line and stopped inside the 2.
This part of the field, your 250-pound quarterback needs to be your go-to guy. just pound the football. 250, shouldn't be stopped in short yardage or in a goal line situation. I would hand it to him 3 straight times and see if he can't pick up these couple yards against a Wake Forest defense that's reeling a bit.
On 2nd and goal, handoff. Shipley, end zone. Did he get there? 3rd down and goal.
It's really close. Let's take a peek. Of course, it's the ball crossed the plane. I think it's a good spot. It's a good job by those officials right at the goal line. You can see right there, it didn't look like Shipley crossed the plane, but very, very close. I'm sure they'll take a look at it.
Our replay official Mike Shepard. Miles Fox met him at the line.
The runner will stop short
and
of the
DJ
goal line.
Taylor.
That play is under further review.
Helped bring him down. It's got to be indisputable video evidence. I don't know that we saw enough initially to overturn it, Greg.
Let's take a look. This, of course, is a great angle. Excellent job by the cart cam. So we take a peek. Where's the ball? It's just hard to tell exactly where the nose of the football is. And you can't make assumptions knowing that it was called short of the line to gain initially. I think this call will stand, but it's very, very close.
Matt Austin, our rules expert analyst, joins us. Matt, anything there that convinces you to overturn this call?
No, actually, I agree with Greg completely. You just can't see the football. The running back's doing a great job of covering it up to maintain possession, and you just cannot see if it did break that front edge of the goal line. So, well done, Greg.
How about that? A little vote of confidence for Greg McElroy.
Yeah, he's saying that now on the air, but he's going to text me in a second, say that was the most. I'm not going to bury you on national television, but I want to. That's what he's going to do. I know what Matt's thinking. It's really close. You just can't see the ball. I mean, if it was called a touchdown, it would stand. But since it was called short, I think it will stand as well.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands.
3rd down and goal. You got DJ Uiagalelei back there. You got Will Shipley. You got to think this one stayed on the ground.
Yeah, if you don't get it here, you go on 4th. Challenge that offensive line, a group that's had their fair share of ups and downs this year. But an opportunity here to make a statement early in a physical way against Wake Forest.
Deeks 9-1, ranked 10th in the country, but Clemson was the actual favorite today. And a lot of people around these parts talking. Uiagalelei under center straight ahead, and I don't think so. Line of scrimmage collapsed quickly. The leverage was there on the Wake defensive side of the ball. And a massive humanity will make it 4th and goal.
Right there, interesting, because you don't get any momentum in 250 when you're under center. Andy's got a hurt right knee. I don't like the under center quarterback sneak. If I'm going to run DJ Uiagalelei, I want him to have some momentum. So I'd start him in shotgun like he is right here.
Allen in motion, 4th down and goal. Handoff, Shipley for a touchdown. Eighth of the season for the freshman from North Carolina. Will Shipley getting it done.
Just a great job there by the left side of the offensive line. Hunter Rayburn just securing the left side and allowing Shipley to break through.
.77 yards in 9 plays, all set up with the scramble and toss from Uiagalelei to Beaux Collins. What a start for the home team on senior day. BT Potter already connecting from 50 yards out. Get the scoring started. Good with the extra point.
DJ Uiagalelei came into the season as one of the favorites for the Heisman. It hasn't materialized, but here's a glimpse of what could be. The Ben Roethlisberger Jr. play, making a couple guys miss, and a couple plays later, the true freshman Shipley takes it home as Clemson's rolling here on Senior Day in Death Valley.
And it's NBA on ESPN time.
Another touchback. As we say hello once again to Matt Berry.
All right, guys, Rocket Mortgage Studio update time, and it is getting late early in Columbus. Second possession of the game for the Buckeyes. Stroud, Garrett Wilson, 77 yards, and no one fast enough to catch it for Michigan State. 14-0 in that one midway through the first quarter. Checking in with Oklahoma. Need a bounce back against Iowa State. Caleb Williams, 74 yards. Cyclones were up 7-0. We are all tied 7 apiece in the Big 12.
Matt, thank you very much. Screen pass, Roberson bottled up. He'll spring forward back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. Wake Forest facing its largest first quarter deficit of the season. And we should point out, too, Clemson still has a chance to win the Atlantic Division. The win today and some help from Dave Clawson's team next week. The loss potentially at Boston College. And NC State also has to play the part as well. Movement, and a penalty marker flies.
False start. Offense, number 9. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
And they have to get something going offensively because this Clemson defense right now is just overpowering this Wake Forest offensive line. They've had one-on-ones, and more often than not, those Clemson one-on-ones have gone their way. It's been very impressive as you see the sack numbers 3 already here in the first 7.5 minutes, 10 minutes or so. But they've really been coming on for the last several weeks.
No confusion with that snap. Hartman try to buy a little time and sling it out of bounds. Are you surprised by this start for Wake Forest?
I am a little bit, but I'm not that surprised that Clemson's able to create some pressure. I'm just surprised that Wake Forest hasn't utilized some misdirection, because this is a team that Clemson, if they know what you're doing, it's over. They're very talented at all 3 levels defensively, but they need, Wake Forest does, because there is a gap in talent for the most part across the board. They have to be able to create confusion and make Clemson play just a touch slower than what they're playing right now.
On third down, more pressure. Hartman somehow escapes, nearly intercepted. Tyler Venables almost brought it in. 3 and out once again for the Deeks, who are playing without their starting center today, and Michael Jurgens, and perhaps that's been a factor early as well.
I think it has, and they just haven't really held up in the front whatsoever. It's not just been on the edges, though. It's been up the middle as well. So Clemson bringing pressure, and Brent Venables, so far an excellent plan to try to neutralize what's been one of the most potent offenses we've seen in college football this year.
And Clemson has not lost to Wake Forest since way back in 2008. Final game, Tommy Bowden is the head coach here. Dabo Swinney took over afterwards. It's been dominated by the Tigers, and there goes Will Brown. Will Brown with a pass. Brown on his way. Touchdown. And the Tigers pouring it on early.
Rolling on the field. As the receiver gave a fair catch signal. The ball being placed. First down. Clemson.
Wow. And it does to me, it looks like that right arm does go up just enough. There it is, right there. How about that turn of events as Will Brown, our rules expert, Matt Austin. Matt, that looks like a fair catch signal to me. They're very ticky-tack when it comes to those.
Well, they certainly are. Any waving signal by the receiver is a fair catch signal. This one's not much, but he does get it above his waist. He waves a little bit. It's enough to make at least one player slow down. So that's why it kills the play.
Wow. Huge turn of events there, and a massive break for Wake Forest As it looked like things were about to go crazy here in Death Valley.
So after all of that, Kobe Pace checks in for the first time. He'll get the toss to the edge. Kobe Pace crossing the 40, and it was very close for Will Brown, and that half wave.
Yeah, as you can see right there just a little bit. I mean, I don't know if there were any Wake Forest players. I don't know if they slowed down at all. Didn't look like it. Looked like it was just a really nice return, but an unfortunate turn of events there for the Clemson special teams unit.
Yeah, so the touchdown off the board. Pace his second carry. And he'll push the pile. Should be enough for a Clemson first down, and that'll move the chains.
It's not often, as you see number 10 Wake Forest back against the wall, it's not often that it's been their defense that's bailed them out. And that's what they need right now badly, because this Wake Forest offense at this point hasn't given us any confidence whatsoever. So their defense desperately needing a stop right now. The only thing that stopped Clemson so far has been a couple inaccurate passes and a fair catch signal.
A crease, and Pace tripped up from behind after another big gain. DJ Taylor got there. Here comes tempo, and now an injured Wake Forest player. Tyler Williams, backup defensive tackle. Williams, the redshirt junior out of West Palm Beach, Florida. Hey fans, don't forget to check out the Great Clips Command Center broadcast of this game. And right now streaming on ESPN3, also the ESPN app. And Williams assisted to his feet. Mentioned Clemson's possibilities of kind of sneaking in the ACC championship game, Greg, and they need a little bit of help. They got to win this game today, of course. Wake has to lose in Chestnut Hill next week, and then NC State has to lose one more time. But you win this game, and all of a sudden the percentages jettison upwards from 10.6 where they are right now.
And this is a team, too, I mean, kind of left for dead, right, after the performance there in the middle of October. Now they're starting to kind of find a little bit of a rhythm, and have done so, by the way. It's not like they've gotten healthier or guys have come back. If anything, the adversity's gotten more significant, and yet they just continue to find a way. So you got to give a lot of credit to Dabo Swinney and this Clemson team. Need some help, but they're no stranger to ACC championships.
Handoff Pace, a jump cut. Wake Forest territory, still churning the legs. Brought down near the 37 by A.J. Williams. You see the 6 consecutive ACC titles. They'd love to make it 7. They need some help to get it done. Clemson without the services of E.J. Williams today, another starting wide receiver. We talked about the injury to DJ Uiagalelei's knee. He's also got a splint on his hand, his throwing hand, Greg, which you know as well as anybody how hard it is to throw the football just in general, but you got something on there disrupting your touch to the pigskin. That's an issue. Deep ball, and incomplete. Collins breaking free.
And you reference, as you look closely at DJ Uiagalelei's hand, it's not just his hand, it's his index finger, which is the last part of your hand that's on the football as you release it. You're probably not going to get a real true spiral. You're probably not going to get great rotation, and your touch is going to be completely off. So for him to be a little bit off the mark today, at least early on, is not that surprising, knowing that he's dealing with an injury to that finger.
Pace running back straight ahead. Ball pops out, and that's what Wake Forest does. They've been doing it all season long. 14 different defenders have created turnovers. Jasir Taylor did it right there for the Deeks.
And man, we mentioned it. What a play by Wake Forest defense. And it's right there. Looked like number 21, Chase Jones, that stuck his left arm out and just barely got enough of the football, causing it to go forward. Wake Forest has done it time and time and time again. They've given up yards, they've given up points, but one thing they have done is they have really flipped the script really throughout the course of the entire season, with turnovers and creating negative plays offensively for the opposition.
The pace lost the handle. Williams was banged up in that sequence as well. Here comes Sam Hartman and the Wake Forest offense trying to find some kind of rhythm and perhaps positive yardage.
They need to get some quick passing game going. They need to get some screens going. Just get Clemson a little bit out of rhythm defensively, because right now Clemson's teeing off.
True freshman running back is Quentin Cooley in the Wake Forest backfield. Play action. Hartman. Pass caught. Taylor Morin reels it in for a gain of 9.
Guys, a couple of frustrating offensive drives for Wake Forest so far. I've been watching Sam Hartman on the sideline until the defense came up with that big turnover. He's pacing around. He's talking to his receivers. One of the things that they talk about him being good at is staying cool, calm, and collected, certainly under pressure.
Big possession for the Deeks. More movement at the line. We'll check the penalty.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
See the offensive coordinator, Warren Ruggiero, for Wake Forest. Very cerebral staff. Really thoughtful, really smart, and unique with how they use that RPO mesh. Very different. It's been fun to study and fun to watch throughout the course of this season.
Roberson in motion. 2nd and 6. Hartman again pressured and down he goes. 4th sack of the quarter for the Tigers defense. It was Trenton Simpson.
I love Trenton Simpson, man. I think he is an elite pass rusher on the edge, but he can also play in space at the second level off the ball. I just think he's so disruptive. As you can see, he just takes that right tackle for a ride. That was Devontae Gordon on the right side that lost to the outstanding linebacker.
3rd down, pressure, Hartman, incomplete. And right now, Wake Forest has no answer for this Brent Venables defense and the pressure they're applying. Early in this one, Skowski broke through that time.
And they're just overloading the protection right there. Skowski unblocked, forcing Hartman to get rid of the football a little sooner than he wanted to. They have to have an answer at some point, a neutralizer to some of these pressures, because your defense gives you sudden change, you do nothing with it.
The 3rd 3 and out for Wake Forest to start. And see what Will Brown elects to do here. A clear call for a fair catch as we send you back to the studio. And Matt Berry.
All right, guys, LL Bean's studio update. Zamir White in Georgia. It's Name Your Number Saturday in the SEC. They've got Charleston Southern. Also, the Buckeyes have just scored again. 43-yard touchdown from Chris Olave. 28-0 Georgia, 21-0 Ohio State.
Well, the Buckeyes certainly coming into form at the right time of the year. And they're going to be a factor in the upcoming college football playoff once again.
And I think that team, the Ohio State, the way they're kind of structured in that passing attack, they might be the biggest threat to Georgia when it comes to the national championship picture.
Collins goes in motion after the 44-yard punt, and Kobe Pace just lost the handle. Tigers' last possession will pick up 3 yards on 1st down.
Yeah, I like that from this Clemson staff. Keep Kobe Pace in there, man. He just coughed one up, but he's been running hard. Sometimes after you put the ball on the deck, the offensive staff will say, hey, you're not getting it for a couple series, but I like they go right back to him. Get your young back involved right away after the mishap last time out.
Approaching a minute to go in our 1st quarter. Louis Angelale heaves it. Pass caught. And that'll be a chain mover. Beaux Collins again. He's been active in this 1st quarter. Tigers pick up another 1st down.
And that was a good, accurate throw there from DJ Uiagalelei. When he knows where he's going with the football, he can drive it. I mean, that's a long throw to the field on the out route. It has to be on time, and he's done that time and time again. That's probably his best throw.
Off the screen, Will Sweeney. Pick up a yard, maybe a yard and a half, and that's it.
play right there, little tunnel screen. I want Wake Forest to install that one because that right there could slow the pass rush just enough.
And that was my next question for the Deacs. What do you do to try to disrupt what Brent Venables has dialed up early? Could be the final play of the quarter. There goes Will Shipley, the spin into Wake Forest territory. And 15 minutes in, 10-0 our score. The nation's 10th ranked team on the ropes early in Death Valley. Well, on senior day, emotions running high. A tear for James Skalski. First quarter sack as well. Tigers getting it done. And a fun start in Death Valley in the ACC.
Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Marcus Tate, true freshman who's played really all along Clemson's offensive line. He's going to be a good one. He perhaps hasn't emerged just yet.
Yeah, that's might be his first or second offensive snap because Hunter Rayburn, as you see, number 55, going in there. He's occupied the left guard spot most of the first quarter. And then in at center has been Mason Trotter. So this offensive line has really been shuffled around, and they've had their fair share of growing pains throughout the course of the season.
Wake Forest.
Well, the Deacs will talk things over. And a big play coming up to start our second quarter with 3rd down and 9. Of course, a big day for college football coming up later tonight. Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One. The Utes and the Ducks, number 3 versus number 23, 7:30 Eastern on ABC. And, of course, on the ESPN app as well. And a spot in the college football playoff certainly could be on the line for the Ducks, who probably have to beat Utah twice to get there. Certainly a part of an enormous day of games here. It's time for today's weekend wake up, brought to you by our friends Wendy's Breakfast. What do you like?
I like it all. I'm very interested to see what kind of Virginia Tech effort we get tonight. Of course, Justin Fuente no longer patrolling the sideline, and Miami really playing for Manny Diaz's job, it seems. Of course, that game's fascinating. But how about SMU at Cincinnati? Really the last big test for Cincinnati prior to the American Championship game.
On 3rd down and 9, deep ball, out of bounds, incomplete. Bakari Collins, the intended receiver, blanket coverage by Holmes. And it's 4th down.
You see that ball just kind of flutter, man. It's got to be because of that right index finger. I mean, it's not turning over. You watch DJ throw. I mean, he turns it over in his sleep. I mean, it's unbelievable. Turning it over, by the way, is a good thing in quarterback world. You think turnover, that's a negative. That's not what I mean. I'm talking turning it over where the nose ends up down when you throw a deep ball, and that nose just stayed high. Really odd. It's got to be because of that index finger that's taped up.
Will Spires, the pride of Cameron, South Carolina, with a punt. And the Deacs get it back. Well, Monday Night Football this week. Daniel Jones and the Giants face a must-win game against Tom Brady and the Bucks, 8 p.m. Eastern. On ESPN with Monday Night Countdown getting things started at 6 o'clock. Saquon Barkley expected to return. Should be a fantastic scene. Now the Deacs had 4 straight punts to start a game. First time it's happened since guess when.
That looks familiar. Clearly, Brent Venables, he's got the recipe. And now it's up to Warren Ruggiero, the offensive coordinator for Wake, to find an answer.
Hartman again, pressure. Hartman again, sacked. Nolan Turner, veteran safety.
And they have to find something. And it's got to be the answer, I think, is to get the ball out of Sam Hartman's hands quick. Hitches, out routes, slants, quick throws to this talented wide receiver core.
Wake Forest with 10 yards in the first quarter. That'll change here. Christian Turner, a little late shake and bake to make it 3rd and respectable. To stop by Balin Spector.
Yeah, and that time, a few times, that Brent Venables hasn't brought about 5 guys in the pressure. They drop back in too deep, and they hit it with a run game to set up, I think, a critical 3rd down for this Wake offense, just to get a little momentum going. And if I'm quarterback, I'm looking in the direction of A.T. Perry. He's my go-to guy, number 9, and wide receiver at the bottom of your screen.
Hartman. Perry, first down Wake Forest, and that felt like a big sequence for the Deacs.
is huge. And that was a great job, too, of A.T. Perry coming back down his stem. Route takes a little bit of time, but looking to work back to the quarterback. Really finds his way and makes it easy on Hartman, who throws an accurate ball.
Hartman now feeling it. Another pitch and catch and a first down to A.T. Perry.
On Clemson, I don't want him to get going. That dude will take over the game if you let him.
Look at the pace. Breakneck off the screen. Trey Williams close to first down yardage. Give him 9.
You see this quick passing game. Just keep going. That time, Clemson bringing some pressure off the edge. Hartman does a good job throwing right into the pressure. They turn into another positive play.
And Hartman on second and short. Needed just over a yard. He'll get there and then some. Spector the tackle.
There's a promising drive from Dave Clawson and his offense. Finally a little bit of rhythm. Being able to neutralize that pass rush for Clemson and Brett Venables just a little bit.
First time in Clemson territory for Wake Forest. A gap pressure. Hartman keeps it across the middle. A.T. Perry. Another first down.
I want you to see, when we take a peek again here in a second, just the effect that this has on the second-level defenders for Clemson.
After a gain of 16, Hartman back to the air. Dangerous toss. Pass is caught. Morin has it. And another chain mover.
And watch this. Look at Nolan Turner, who's sitting right here. The ball goes into the belly of the running back. He thinks it's a run. He commits. And as a result, boom, Hartman hits him right in behind. And that's what this offense is designed to do. It's designed to make you commit to whatever it is you're going to try to stop. The run play there, boom, it's right in behind you. You can't be right when this Wake Forest offense is clicking.
When I look at my
United Center, it's Cedric the Entertainer.
You gonna hit me up the other day talking about, Daddy, would you buy me the new Camaro? You know, that's more like A student right there. You.
Clemson, Wake Forest starting to get some offensive momentum. I talked to offensive lineman Sean McGinn this week on the most challenging part of running this offense for Wake. He said, reminding yourself what we can do. Sometimes if we get inconsistent, experience a couple 3-and-outs, you have to remind yourself what this offense looks like when we can hit a big play, when all 11 do their job. He said, no one here is a superhero. If everyone does what they need to do, we can play well.
And listen, Sean's had to play a little center so far this afternoon due to the injury to Michael Jergens. That's a developing story. And a short gain by Christian Turner on first down.
And obviously, when you're without your center and your run-tempo offense, that's really difficult because the communication has to be seamless. And if you're not the guy that's doing it every single snap throughout spring and fall camp, missing that piece in an offense like this, that's a big loss.
10th play of the drive. Hartman pulls it out. Pass will be caught. Roberson has it. And it'll be first down and goal for Wake Forest. And what a response on this drive for the Deeks.
Yeah, a thing of beauty with this offense now. You see how quickly the ball's getting out of Hartman's hands. Very decisive. And the receivers have done an excellent job after catch as well.
Turner, a gap, nothing there. And stacked up near the 5, it'll be second and goal.
This part of the field, too, especially on the left hash, as you can see the signalers for Wake Forest getting that play in as fast as possible. I want to move the quarterback. I want to roll the quarterback out to the right. Give him that run-pass option to the field if he likes it, because things get very difficult to run it between the tackles.
On cue, Hartman the pump fake, trying to make something happen. End zone and incomplete. It popped out of the hands of Roberson at the last minute in the back quarter. Third and goal.
Pretty good throw there. One that would have been a great catch, but one that Roberson, being the talented receiver that he is, got the ball behind your back, too, by Hartman. Nicely done to evade the would-be tackler.
Roberson on the outside on third down. 13th play of the drive. Hartman all afternoon to toss it. End zone. Broken up and incomplete. Roberson again, the intended receiver, Andrew Makuba. for the PBU.
And they kind of got away with one here. Watch number 22, Trenton Simpson. He's working right there. He just takes out the wide receiver. I mean, I'm not sure what the officials are seeing there, because the guy's out on the route trying to catch a pass, and the linebacker just levels him. Fortunate there that Clemson didn't get flagged for the pass interference.
Nick Skiba, the South Carolina native from right up the road. Clover, South Carolina. 23-yard effort. And he has been rock solid this year in Winston-Salem. 10-3 our new score, 10 to play. And a fun first half in Death Valley.
Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready to show 'em who's the cheesiest?
I woke up feeling the cheesiest, coach. Win a trip to the CFP National Championship.
What's going on? College football presented by Marathon is brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Try a peppermint chip milkshake, the mintiest way to share the holiday spirit. Available for limited time. And Allstate. Save money like a champion with Allstate.
6 straight ACC championships for Dabo Swinney and the Clemson Tigers. Wake Forest trying to change that this year with a win today. They certainly would. Dix would clinch the Atlantic Division and head to the championship game in Charlotte for the first time since '06. Ivan Mora. Kick things off. Will Shipley back deep to receive. Here on Senior Day in Death Valley, Greg McElroy, Roy Philippon, Alyssa Lane. Great to have you with us. Championship on the line in late November. Short kick. And Shipley waiting for the convoy to arrive. Nice return. Stopped at the 29 as we check in again with Matt Berry.
Well, here's what's going on at the shoe. Julian Fleming, touchdown. 17 straight completions for C.J. Stroud, school record. 28-0 Buckeyes.
Holy Toledo, Batman. Ohio State getting it done in a very big way once again, Greg.
Can't say I'm that surprised as you see Will Shipley, who had a nice return just a second ago, walked a little bit, a limp to the sideline. He was favoring that left leg, so the monitor as we move along.
Put in 3, kept him on the sidelines last week against UConn. Kobe Pace checks back in, an early fumble, but a nice rumble there. And a first down for Clemson. Luke Masterson ushered him out of bounds after another big gainer.
So far, given the fact that DJ is not at 100% with that right index finger, causing him to be a little inaccurate, I'm very impressed with the offensive plan that Tony Elliott's rolled out. Their commitment to the run game and trying to get it on the edges a little bit.
Jake Brenningstool, the tight end, split wide, and he'll get the target. An incomplete coverage by Holmes.
As you see, DJ Uyunglele has had his fair share of ups and downs this year. That ball thrown a little bit too early. This one way behind the receiver, a little off the mark. Here on a deep ball, throws it just a little bit too far, just the tiniest bit off. And here's the last one. As you see, a hitch should be thrown to the left pec of the wide receiver. He throws it upfield. Lucky that wasn't intercepted.
Did you say the left pec?
Yes.
Pace. Stopped short of midfield by Bothroyd. That'll bring up third down. Just double checking.
Well, accuracy, throw to a spot on the body, not just to the body.
So as a quarterback, that's what you're aiming at on the toss.
Correct. You're aiming on a hitch route to the pec or the shoulder away from the defender. That time, DJ threw it a little too far upfield on the last attempt.
Tigers 1 of 4 on third down. They need 4 to keep this drive alive. And Pace straight ahead. Made one man miss. And a power finish results in a first down.
Really nice run there by Pace, as he just completely overpowers DJ Taylor, number 46, who meets him in the hole at the line of scrimmage. And Pace is just not denied. Just a beautiful run there. by the running back.
I mean, Greg, you look at the injuries. No Frank Latson, no E.J. Williams, no Justin Ross. Ngata is out. Will Taylor is out. You wonder if they should just stick to the ground game. And then Davis Allen says hello and another first down.
What a great throw and an outstanding catch. When you have a big body tight end, just throw it up there. Give him a chance. As you get Davis Allen, who goes at 6'6", working against Travion Red, who's just 6 foot. Massive advantage for Clemson, and a great throw by DJ.
And perhaps the favorite player for offensive coordinator Tony Elliott this season. Does a lot of the dirty work. He's got the soft hands. Pace ahead to the 17-yard line. The tackle by Red.
Yeah, let's go back to that throw from DJ Uiagalelei. You can see, I mean, it's well covered. But when you have a guy that's in phase, it's almost like throwing a back shoulder to the outside. This is kind of a back shoulder, but it's right in the middle of the field, just throwing the receiver open. A great job by Allen of adjusting his body and making a great catch. Just an excellent conversion there in the passing game.
Will Shipley checking back in on second down. It's Wake Forest defense, not the strength of Dave Clawson's team this season. Shipley on the toss. Shipley to the edge. And close the line to gain. Another first down for the Tigers. Give them 5.
Yeah, I think the big thing for Wake Forest, though, they got to do a better job tackling. You got to give credit to Shipley and Pace, who've done a good job of being physical and making guys miss. But, man, there have been several Wake Forest defenders that have been there, and they just haven't been able to drop the ball carriers. So they got to do a better job of not missing open field, because these Clemson guys are very explosive.
Uiagalelei keeps it, makes one man miss inside the 5 and stopped at the 1. It'll be first down and goal for Clemson.
You can expect much of the same. Just continue to hand the ball. Lean on this Wake Forest defense. Don't try anything unnecessary. Just pound it.
Shipley. And stood up at the 1.
I know that DJ is not at 100%. That right knee's been bothering him with that PCL, but every time someone else touches it down here, I still kind of shake my head a little bit. You have a 250-pound quarterback that runs decent. Allow him to just plow his way into the end zone. Quarterback power, and just mow the defense down. I would run that over and over again from the 1 if I were Tony Elliott.
10th play of the drive for the Tigers. On the move once again. Uiagalelei lost a yard. And clearly you can see the PCL strain bothering him on any attempt on the ground this afternoon. And Dabo Swinney have to figure something out on third down. What do you like?
Yeah, that was a great job there on the end of the line, but just a little bit too slow developing there as Wake Forest is able to crash down. Maybe something off tackle is probably a good spot. Wake Forest selling out right now inside. Maybe they try to stretch it and get it around the edge just a little bit.
Power formation. Now Uiagalelei comes out. Shipley the jump pass. Allen end zone! And he got it! Penalty marker is down. Let's check the infraction.
Pass interference. Defense, number 15. Penalties decline. Results of the play. Touchdown.
Look at the throw. It's almost end over end. It's like a jump shot, like a runner. Brownell is probably watching from Charleston right now. He sees that. What a great play and a beautiful catch by Allen.
A little trickeration, but 7 more on the board for Clemson.
Great answer there from the Clemson Tigers.
Will Shipley, freshman running back, getting it done. Davis Allen off the carom. Why not? 17-3. Wake Forest gets the ball back when we return. 20-3, Clemson leading. Number 10, Wake Forest, back inside Memorial Stadium. Whistle Lane, Greg McElroy and Roy Philpott here with you. It's not how you drive, it's how you arrive as we take a look at today's more driven moment brought to you by Goodyear.
And I want you to pay close attention to this beautiful spiral by Will Shipley. I say that tongue-in-cheek because, my goodness, the thing's end over end. Look at this. I mean, that is amazing. That's like when you're 150 yards out and you're hitting a nice, easy 7-iron and you skull it, but it still ends up on the green. You know what I mean? It's not exactly how you want it. You don't have to draw a picture, though, in the box score. Goes down as a touchdown. Very effective and a great catch by Allen. I just love that Shipley didn't even try to throw it like a traditional football. Just end over end. Who cares?
And remember, he was injured in that previous possession as well before coming back on the field. Hartman on the rollout. Pass will be caught near the line to gain by Donald Stewart. So just his 22nd grab of the season at the 35.
And on that last possession, Wake Forest finally found something offensively. And I think this will be a big part of it. Moving the launch point, rolling Hartman out, mixing in some quick throws with the inside handoffs like they usually do. But I'd also start to explore maybe a couple runs to the perimeter. Pitch it to your running backs on the outside.
Slow match, Cooley has it and then bursts ahead. Stopped at the 38.
I do think it's going to be really important for Wake Forest to mix it up. If you watch Clemson right now defensively, they're really converging at both guards in the center, really trying to collapse on the inside. So they're going to have to run it around the edges a couple times because Clemson kind of selling out at the middle.
Hartman pulls it out, now springs ahead. That'll bring up 3rd down and short. Boy, the slow mesh, it really is unique and different compared to what we usually see, you know, with option football and the normal spread.
It's very effective, though, and it forces the defense to show their hand on every single snap.
And Hartman, a magician this season. He'll throw it here. 1st down, Wake Forest. The pressure came in just a split second late. And Simpson just buried him.
Just pressure right off the side, unblocked. Hartman knows it. And he knows he has to lose it quick. He even gives Simpson a little love. Hey, good hit, bud.
How about that?
Love that.
After the 1st down, Hartman goes deep. Keyshawn Williams incomplete. Coverage by Makuba.
Like pretty good coverage there, as you can see. Keyshawn Williams wanting a flag. Ball slightly underthrown there by Hartman. He's got to get it out just a little bit quicker, give his receiver a chance, but I think it's a good no call by the official. Makuba looks around, tries to make a play on the football. That's well defended there by the freshman safety.
5 at the line for Clemson on 2nd down. And more movement. We've seen a lot of this early, Greg.
False start. Offense, number 50. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Zach Tom, the guilty party, and Dave Clawson imploring that there's something happening at the line.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that you're going to have to monitor. Right now, Clemson's moving a lot. They're stemming before the ball is snapped, and it's causing Wake Forest some discomfort. They've now had 3 false start penalties, and you, of course, can't get behind the sticks against a team that's this good at rushing the passer.
Tigers already with 4 sacks on the afternoon. Hartman a clean pocket, and Roberson hauls it in Clemson territory.
Let's see whether or not Brent Venables decides to bring pressure here. He's had some success on 3rd down, bringing heat. It looks like it's coming again. Right now at the top, this is a flat top defense. Right now it's looking like pressure here and here. There it comes.
Across the middle, Roberson, and that's a chain mover. Tripped up, and I mean a shoestring tackle at the last possible moment. Otherwise, that's a really big gainer. It's Tyler Venables stopped him.
And that was a good job there by Warren Ruggiero, who obviously recognized the pressure was coming. They had to dump it.
Hartman. Roberson turns around, makes the catch. It'll be 1st down and goal. Working against Makuba that time. And Wake in business.
It's a great job there by Roberson, tracking the football on the back shoulder. Really nicely done by the excellent wide receiver. And Ruggiero now has gotten into a bit of a rhythm calling these plays, finding some isolations and finding some opportunities in the passing game. But right here is where they have to convert. Their drive stalled. around the 5-yard line the last time Wake had the ball.
After a gain of 31. Here come the Deeks. 9-1 on the season, 10th in the country. The give, Cooley straight ahead and rolls down inside the 1.
If I'm Wake, I would just go right back to it. Same play. I'd try to hit it in a hurry.
Hartman under center, tries the left side and nothing there.
So difficult. If you're Wake, it's 4-down territory, no doubt. Defense struggled so far today. 4-down territory as Hartman's now going to go off the field. They're going to opt to go with that wildcat package that Wake's used throughout the course of this season.
Christian Turner checks in at running back. Quentin Cooley on as well. And it's Turner who claps for it, and a timeout called by Dave Clawson. And he sprinted into the end zone there.
Yeah, he was rolling. Need to clip that for his highlight reel, send it to the scouts. Clawson gets the timeout.
Team, it's been a grind, but I think
Switch! Look at it. Look at that. Put it on the reel. That's a highlight reel for the coach right there. Good twitch as he gets the timeout.
Out of the Wake Forest timeout, Cooley and Turner, the running backs. No Sam Hartman to speak of. 3rd and goal.
Did they dare try the jump pass like Clemson just ran?
That would be juicy. Turner, right side for the touchdown, and a big play for Wake Forest, the Deeks. And Dave Clawson right back in it.
Great drive there by Wake Forest offense. Finding some isolations in the passing game, neutralizing the pressure with a quick passing attack, taking advantage of Clemson's aggressiveness. They've done a really good job of adjusting and finding some answers these last couple drives.
Yeah, Deeks 3 for 3 on 3rd down, including that 3rd down conversion for the score.
This is a great run here by Christian Turner, just lowering his shoulder and finishing forward because that was well defended. I mean, there were 2 Clemson defenders that were right there. But Turner would not be denied as Clawson sees his running back plunge into the end zone. Just a great job there by Wake Forest. Brent Venables is pressing all the right buttons those first few series. 4 sacks. Really nothing going offensively, but these last couple drives by the Wake offense, they've found something, and they're going to have to continue to adjust because you know Venables will now adjust to what they've answered with.
Well, you saw Dave Clawson there. We talked with him extensively this week about showing emotions. It's not something the old ball coach has done a lot of, and we actually quizzed Sam Hartman and his staff. What's it like when Dave cuts it loose? And he kind of did that right there, Greg.
A little bit. I mean, measured. He's not doing backflips and somersaults, that's for sure, but these guys play so hard for him. I'm really impressed by this Wake Forest staff.
We got a good one brewing in Death Valley. Short kickoff, Parham's out of bounds. And the penalty marker flies.
It's got to be frustrating now. End of half situation with a quarterback that's struggling with his accuracy.
Kicking team, ball be placed at the 35-yard line. 1st down.
Matt Barry, what's going on?
Hey guys, coming up in the Lexus halftime report. It is 42-0 Ohio State with 5 minutes left in the first half. It is an absolute beat down at the shoe, plus Oklahoma in a good one against Iowa State, and Cincinnati, big one against SMU. Can they get out of there undefeated? Sam Acho, Joey Galloway join me coming up on the
Gentlemen, we look forward to that back here in Death Valley. Buck 20 remaining. Clemson gets it back. Another grab for Davis Allen.
You guys have talked about the adversity that this Clemson team has faced all season long from an injury standpoint. Certainly not an up year when it comes to the standards that this Clemson football team holds themselves to, but something that Dabo Swinney said to us yesterday is we've come to expect adversity, whether it's on the scoreboard, whether it's in practice. We face it and we do as much as we can with it. We'll see what they do here to end the half.
Yeah, Tony Elliott, Greg, said we're ready for it. We expect it, bring it on. It's almost like they're embracing it, despite losing 17 players either to the portal or because of injuries.
Yeah, and I mean, they've weathered the storm and they're still fighting. That's what I'm so proud of this Clemson team for, is while they might not be within reach of the playoffs or national championships like this program expects every year, but man, they're hanging in there and they're battling and trying to get through it.
Time for Uiagalelei. Pass is going to be intercepted off the bounce. And the Deeks force their second turnover of this first half. Mustafa picked it off.
Interception by the defense. First down, Wake Forest.
What a great play by Mustafa off the deflection. Throw looked like it was pretty good. I mean, pretty tight spot, just a little bit behind Collins as it gets tipped up in the air, and Mustafa makes a great play on it. Just unlucky there by DJ Uiagalelei. Throw wasn't that bad. Shouldn't have resulted in an interception, but you got to tip your cap to the defense. It's an outstanding play.
First career pick for Malik Mustafa. Malik got it done. Diggs get it back. Timeout to work with. And Hartman rolls out the pocket. And that's a first down grab. And a different Sam Hartman, a different Wake Forest offense these last 3 possessions, Greg.
Yeah, and the answers that they've found. When Clemson's blitzed, he's thrown it quick. When they've brought pressure internally, they've run to the outside. When they've played passive and they kind of allow the run, they've handed it off. I mean, they've done a really good job of adjusting and finding some answers here in the final 15 minutes of the half.
It's a 12-yard gain, third catch for Morin, and that pass incomplete. Looking for Roberson in Clemson territory. It'll be 2nd and 10.
It'll be real interesting to see at halftime, because this is a Wake Forest team that, while they are very good at wide receiver, they really need to get the run game going. They haven't had anything going really throughout the course of the game, just 8 yards rushing. So they're going to have to find some balance in the second half, and it won't be easy against this Clemson front seven.
Not easy as well without the services of Christian Beal-Smith. Hartman has his tight end Blake Whiteheart. It'll be 3rd down and 2. No Christian Beal-Smith, Greg. No Justice Ellison today. And there is an injured Clemson player back at the 39. Appears to be Trey Williams. So the freshman defensive tackle out of Windsor, Connecticut, being tended to. And we remind you, coming up tomorrow on Sunday NFL Countdown, before Patrick Mahomes and Dak Prescott square off, it's Inside the Lines with Cowboys QB wired for sound. That is Dak himself. Plus, Kevin Hart joins Sam and the guys live from Philly, 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow, Sunday, NFL Countdown.
Everyone keeps talking this whole week. I mean, I'm watching all the daytime television shows, and the constant conversation's been Dak or Mahomes. Who's better? Who would you rather have? And the more I've thought about it, the more that actually is kind of a difficult question to answer. I love Mahomes like he's my son. I love him. He's one of my favorite players to ever play. And but Dak's one of my favorite players I've ever covered. So it's almost, I feel like I'm picking between 2 kids that I just love and cherish so much. But Dak's had such an amazing year, and the Cowboys are playing as well as anybody.
I think this year Dak has clearly been better than Mahomes.
Not close this year, but don't start that Ferrari up just yet. Mahomes can flat out get it.
Out of the timeout, more movement at the line. And back Wake Forest up 5.
False start. Offense, number 62. 5-yard penalty. They're down.
And as you see Dave Clawson, he is beside himself. I mean, he is convinced that Clemson's doing something in the front, because this is not something you're accustomed to seeing with Wake Forest. Self-inflicted mistakes.
Hartman steps up. Hartman fires. Morin, first down. Big play there to keep the drive alive. The tackle by Tyler Venables. Wake with 1 timeout remaining.
This type of offense, you can run a play here. Normally, I'd say spike it, but you can run a play with their tempo.
Off of play action, Hartman wants it all towards the end zone and broken up at the last minute. Roberson, the intended receiver, and Makuba, who has been active in this first half, got a fingertip on it.
Great play by Makuba. Ball's just a little bit late as Hartman tries to work the middle read post. But a beautiful play by Makuba to get in there and break it up. He has. You mentioned being active. He's been outstanding today.
16 seconds remaining. Deeks do have a timeout to work with. Skiba does have ample leg strength. All-time leading scorer in Wake Forest history. Hartman. Down he goes and the ball pops out. Skalski has it. And James Skalski on senior day makes another big play as Hartman did not sense the pressure coming from the opposite side of the field.
And they'll look at this. Was his arm moving forward as the ball came free? Because that, of course, would result in an incompletion. Right there, it looks like he does. It's almost kind of like the tuck rule, but it looks like he brings it in. Right here, does he throw it? Yeah, no, well, it looks like the ground causes the fumble as well. And of course you can see is his knee down, a lot of things to unpack here. But I'm pretty sure that knee was down prior to that ball being dislodged.
Let's check in with Matt Austin. Matt, what do you see in this sequence?
Well, I agree exactly with what Greg said. He has the ball in his hand all the way to the ground. I think he had his elbow and his knee on the ground before the ball came out. So I would not be surprised if this is overturned to a runner being down.
And a great job by the officials letting the play happen. Because if you blow it dead there and say, oh, he was sacked, and all of a sudden it turns into a fumble, and then you have to have clear recovery. So a great job by the officials letting it play out. And then, hey, we'll clean it up on the back end. Just excellent job by this ACC crew.
Well, Spector and Miles Murphy meeting at the quarterback to bring him down, and I agree.
So I think it's the left elbow that kind of shows a dangerous play there, by the way. I mean, Hartman is very lucky that that ball didn't pop free. You have 3 Clemson defenders that are all over you and you're trying to make a throw. It's just extremely dangerous.
Hey, as a quarterback, Greg, you've been sacked 5 times in 2 quarters. I mean, there's a cumulative effect as you get later into the game with the amount of pressure that Hartman has been under, right?
No doubt. Your clock, everything has to speed up just a little bit faster, knowing that you haven't done a great job on islands and they've had some answers with some of the pressures that they've brought. So everything as a quarterback at that point has to be accelerated. Your decision making, how quickly you get it out of your hands, the communication between you and the offensive line, communication between you and your wide receivers. Everything has to happen just a little bit faster in the second half so that they won't have these drives stalled because of the Clemson pressure.
An extended review here. Remember, if Wake Forest wins today, the Deacons clinch the Atlantic Division Championship. Clemson needs to win today and then have some help in the final week of the regular season to repeat and have a chance for their 7th straight ACC title. Probably double checking the time that should be left on the clock after that last sequence as well at this point.
Now, of course, as you take a look, the biggest thing they got to iron out is, all right, what's the clock doing?
Right.
Where's the ball down? The clock is, of course, going to be running. Does Wake Forest want to call their final timeout and heave one to the end zone? So right now, just trying to clean everything up as this call is going to likely be reversed.
So they'll put some time back on the clock for sure.
And then the clock will start on the ready for play. So Wake Forest will have to decide, do you want to get up there and be ready to run an offensive snap? Do you want to try to steal some points? A few things for Dave Clawson to iron out strategically right now.
The runner was down. Therefore, the ball be placed at the 47-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 13 seconds.
Matt, they got it right.
Yes, they did. It does carry a 10-second subtraction, but Wake Forest does have a timeout to prevent that. So I would assume that they would use it here so the clock would stay at 13. If they don't want it, it would go down to 3. Then they'd have one play. So it makes no sense not to take the timeout.
Yeah, they will execute that last timeout to avoid the 10-second runoff. So now you can anticipate, of course, you can work the middle of the field, but you have to get first down yardage. So I don't anticipate that. I expect a 5-yard or an 8-yard or a 10-yard out route working right into the boundary. And see if you can't steal those 3 with Skiba's leg at the end of half.
3rd and 18 for Sam Hartman. Cool under pressure. You saw the smile. The weight of a potential Atlantic Division championship on the line today. Not phasing a redshirt sophomore.
Let's expect an out route to the top or something like that to the boundary.
Hartman with time, heaves it, Morin. And was it intercepted? Andrew Booth comes away with it. Now Hartman's thrown 5 picks in his last 2 games, the first this afternoon, and that'll thwart another potential Wake Forest scoring drive.
What a great play by Booth. I mean, turning around, making a play on the football, just an unbelievable play there by the corner. Thing of beauty on the sideline, and not the end that you wanted if you're Wake Forest. Get greedy, and as a result, Clemson makes a great play to take this 7-point lead into halftime.
Well, in a season of chaos in college football, Clemson trying to contribute to the cause. 17-10 our score at halftime in Death Valley. Coming up right now, our halftime report. Let's send you to Matt Berry, Joey Galloway, and Sam Acho.
Guys, thank you. It is the Lexus halftime report. And I know Thanksgiving slated for next Thursday.
To something that became a strength yet again. So let's see if those adjustments continue to pay dividends, because this Clemson defense, they're able to do a lot of really nice things there in the first 30 minutes of this game.
Sun splashing down, and a critical matchup inside the Atlantic Coast Conference. Closing in on the final week of the regular season in college football. Here comes Shipley. With a crease stop there, Alyssa Lane caught up with Dave Clawson shortly before halftime.
Coach, what adjustments did you make offensively to get some momentum there?
Well, the big thing is we got to make first downs. You know, they don't have a lot of depth, and if we can keep their one group in there and wear them down a little bit, we got a shot. But we had too many 3-and-outs.
What will be the emphasis defensively in the second half?
We got to tackle. I mean, we missed a running back and the big play that led to a touchdown. We had 2 chances to sack them. We didn't get them on the ground.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
I like what you said, weathering the storm. It certainly felt like that as we got deeper into the second quarter. Clemson has it. Shipley, all kinds of real estate. Will Shipley into Wake Forest territory. Still on his feet. Stopped at the 37 by Red. And a good start for the Tigers offense in a gain of 41.
What a start there from Clemson offensively. They've done a really good job of running the football. Been a little bit hit or miss in the passing game, but this is going to have to be their bread and butter down the stretch. This is a Wake Forest defense that has all sorts of issues, especially tackling in the open field. On display right there. Just a great crease by the true freshman star running back out of Charlotte.
Dave Clawson just said that to Alyssa right before halftime. Shipley gets it again, starting to get lathered up. Shipley across the left side in a 9-yard pickup. Close to another first down. Smenda the tackle.
You can expect a heavy dose of this. DJ Uiagalelei not at 100%. Has that right knee injury, the PCL sprain. And then he also has the right index finger that's been problematic. Been a little erratic with his accuracy today as a result. So you can expect a heavy dose of Shipley and pace in the second half.
And 9 of 17 through the air for Uiagalelei. Shipley spins his way ahead back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Guys, I caught up with Clemson head coach Dabo Swinney moments ago coming out of the locker room, and I said, what did you say to your offense? What did you say to DJ? He said, keep making plays. The few things that have gone wrong for us have been self-inflicted wounds. We have to make sure we hold on to the football, play clean football, continue to make big-time plays.
Common denominator this season, especially on offense for Clemson. Kobe Pace checks in at running back. 3rd and short. Pace straight ahead, picks up the first down. Needed a yard, he'll gain 2. The tackle by Taylor. The drive continues.
And you see right now, Wake Forest doing a pretty good job these last couple snaps at the line of scrimmage. Really kind of selling out against the run. If I were Wake Forest, that'd be my whole play. You have a beat-up wide receiver core for Clemson and a quarterback that right now is a little bit off target. I would sell out completely against the run. If they throw it over my head, so be it. But that would be the risk I'd be willing to take.
Toss to Pace to the edge. Another big gainer sent out inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal for Clemson.
Really good job out in front. As you can see, number 64, Walker Parks, the right tackle, pulling around. That's a good day, buddy, but good job right there on the pin and pull technique by Clemson's offense. Have a couple guys blocking down and a couple offensive linemen out in front. It's been a really nice run sequence from the Tigers.
Good gain of 18. Uyunglele lost the football. He tried to toss it to Pace. Bothroyd blew that play up.
Wow. What a play by Bothroyd. Tried to go with a little bit of a counter with option. And anyone that's ever run option before, you need space between the guy and the pitch man. Right there, not enough space. So as a result, Bothroyd can knock the ball down. He can cover DJ and get a piece of it. And just an unbelievable individual effort there by Bothroyd at a critical moment, because Wake's defense's back was completely against the wall.
Previous play is under further review.
And they're going to look at this and see whether or not the ball was traveling forward, I'm assuming. Thinking, of course, if it was traveling forward, that would result in an incompletion. But just a critical error there by DJ Uyunglele, and bad spacing on the pitch led to what is likely to be a turnover.
Step aside, timeout on the field, and a replay review underway.
Because you're forever connected by love. On HBO Max.
If Damian Lillard let 6 all-star selections go to his head, he never would have had the heart to give back to the streets.
Now Wake Forest forcing the 3rd Clemson turnover of the afternoon. Deeks get it back, trailing by a touchdown. Greg McElroy, Alyssa Lang, and Roy Philpott. DJ Uyunglele accounting for 2 of those miscues. Sam Hartman trying to figure out a way after Bothroyd blew that last sequence up. Turner, the running back, he'll get the call on 1st down. Ball pops out. Tigers get it back. Balin Spector with a fumble recovery. Back-to-back plays with turnovers.
How about Miles Murphy here, who collapses down and strips the ball from Turner? What a great play by the defensive end for the Clemson Tigers. Just huge, huge turn after their offense makes the mistake. Look at number 98 right there, reaching across, knocking the ball free. Just a huge mistake there from Wake.
Timeout on the field. Tyler Davis banged up on the play for Clemson.
With Downy Infusions, let the scent set the mood.
Beautiful afternoon in downtown Clemson, South Carolina. And the Tiger feeling salty. Taco Bell welcomes you to the Live Más Student Section of the Year contest. Use hashtag Student Section Sauce to get the committee's attention and go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see how your school can compete.
You were once in that student section. Did you behave yourself?
I did not.
On occasion?
Never. Kobe Pace on first down. All kinds of green in front of him. Turf Monster got him at the 15. Brought down there at the 14 by Smenda.
Another opportunity there by Wake Forest at or around the line of scrimmage, and their guys just can't drag them down. Fortunately there for Wake Forest and their defense, the grass, like you alluded to, just chopped up the running back's feet just a little bit. He had a lot of open space.
It's got to be a bad feeling when that happens, right?
I never got in the open field. I couldn't tell you.
You didn't know. Uyunglele through the line of scrimmage and another first down. It'll be first and goal at the 8.
And you would think after the last sequence, they don't get too cute with the run game. You would think it's just going to be a standard either zone read or something that is relatively low risk. You'd think speed option would be that, but it wasn't last time around. So with this defense on their heels, expect more of the same from Clemson's offense.
On first down, Pace, end zone. Did he get there? Yes, he did. Touchdown. Kobe Pace with a flex, and Clemson back in front by 2 scores. Go back to the fumble by Christian Turner. Clemson cashes in quickly.
You can see the Wake Forest defense trying to make a play. Masterson, number 12, shoots inside, and there's nobody home on the B gap to the outside as Case trucks his way into the end zone. Just an excellent sequence there from Clemson, both defensively and offensively.
Potter's extra point is true. 24-10, our new score. Not even 5 minutes into our second half. And all smiles for Kobe Pace. And look, Greg, you go back to last week, Wake Forest against NC State. Devin Leary, the Wolfpack quarterback, turns it over a couple of times. Hartman turned right around, basically on back-to-back-to-back possessions. And threw 2 picks in that sequence. And we're kind of seeing the turnover game unfold in front of our eyes again today.
Yeah, and Clemson's just way too talented to make self-inflicted mistakes against. You look at Wake Forest, granted, yes, is this Clemson team as good from a talent standpoint, as deep from a talent standpoint as they've been in years past? No, but they're still unbelievably good across the board, relatively speaking. So you can't make mistakes, and with the false starts and getting a little off schedule and not being super sound in your protection, couple that with a couple turnovers as well, Wake Forest right now finds himself in a significant hole, and if they continue to make mistakes, that hole is going to grow even wider.
More in back deep to receive this Potter kickoff. 2 yards deep. He'll down it there. And now today, it's time for our Aflac trivia question. Anxious to see this one, Greg. And which team besides Clemson or FSU most recently won the ACC championship? That's tough.
That is actually very difficult because, of course, FSU had a great run in the early 2010s. Just that national championship, 2013. I'm trying to think. I want to say it was 2012. I'm trying to think who won it in 12. Surely it was FSU, right, with E.J. Manuel?
I'm going to go 2009. Georgia Tech with the great Roddy Jones.
Wow.
The Paul Johnson backfield. I could be wrong, but that's what.
I'm going to go Georgia Tech a little bit later. That's a good call because they had a couple of really good years there. I know they played in the Orange Bowl in 15 or 14. That's a really good question.
Maggin banged up.
That's not good for Wake Forest, of course. From sliding down to center. So now you're without your starting center. Now you're without your normal starting left guard, but he started at center today. It's going to become even more problematic now along the offensive line for the Deeks.
Let's take a look at that answer to our Aflac trivia question. Who's right? Who's not so right?
I think you're all over it in 09. And I think it is Georgia Tech. I think that's right. I just don't know the year.
Oh, Virginia Tech.
Wow.
The Hokies.
And if I'm not mistaken, we played Virginia Tech in 09. In 2010, Tyrod Taylor was the quarterback for Virginia Tech. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they lost to Boise State early and then got hot as the season went along. That sound right?
I don't know if Taylor was still there at that point.
Oh, he was definitely still there. It was definitely Tyrod. I know that for sure.
He's been playing the NFL for a long period of time.
He's had a great career.
Again, helped off the field.
Now let's see what's going on along the offensive line for Wake Forest, and whether or not Brent Venables, knowing that they're really deep in the well at center, does he increase the pressure internally?
Hartman sensing it. Hartman going down at the 30. And Rubin crashed the pocket again.
This time he's working against the left guard, Nagasamaya. He just swims right around him.
Hartman's helmet came off. Michael Kern checks in at quarterback on third down, no less. And Brent Venables got to be foaming at the mouth right now. Kern's completed one pass this season. Tigers show pressure. Kern wants to throw it, and he will. Pass is caught, and how about that? A.T. Perry, and there he goes. Perry off to the races. Sent out near the 12-yard line by Makuba.
Well, early money's on Michael Kern for having the highest quarterback rating in the game. 1 for 1 for about 60. Smart man. It's players over plays. Where do you want to look? In a critical third down, look in the direction of your most reliable wide receiver, and that's A.T. Perry. It's a good job, too, by Warren Ruggiero, giving the backup quarterback a nice, easy throw, a high percentage completion, and he converts for the big play.
Second completion of the season for Kern. First down for Wake Forest. And the slow mesh stopped at the line.
Let's look at Kern. Just, no problem. All right, I'm going to go back to the sideline now. Good. Don't even need to see the result. I'm all right. Job well done, young man. Very nicely done.
Redshirt freshman out of Orlando. Second down and 11 after the TFL.
Hartman frustratingly looked at the center judge after that last play, too. Something is clearly bothering him. It's something that he doesn't think is getting called that should be.
Cooley. No room to run. Back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Rowe with the tackle.
I think you got to move the pocket here. Roll the quarterback to the right. See if you can't get Taylor Morin on a deep comeback route to the right-hand side. But move the quarterback. Get him moving a little bit.
Pressure. Hartman end zone. And a penalty marker down. A.T. Perry defended by Booth. 2 markers down.
There's been a bunch of contact that these officials have let slide today. I'm good with it most of the time. This time, it seemed like there was a lot of contact, but it's like it could go really either way. I mean, it seemed like Perry had an awful lot of contact as well.
There's a flag at the 17 and also one that was just picked up in the end zone.
Oh, they're going to go OPI as well. So not just the holding against Wake Forest, but also offensive pass interference against Perry.
Pass interference, offense number 9. Holding, offense number 59. Both penalties are declined. 4th down.
Dave Clawson, got to kick the field goal if you're Coach Clawson, right?
Yeah, you have to. 100%. Take the points. Stop the bleeding just a little bit, but they're going to have to find an answer in the middle of that offensive line because McGinn went back in the game, but he didn't look like he was at 100%, got rolled over a couple times. So they're going to have to get a little creative offensively in the next series.
31-yard field goal attempt. Nick Skiba, 17 of 19 this season. And make it 18 of 20. 24-13, Wake Forest with a field goal. And a beautiful afternoon on the campus of Clemson University.
Williams, good footwork, finds Mario Williams back at the end zone. Guys, right now, Boomer up on Iowa State, 21-7 late third quarter.
Cyclones. Matt Campbell been a thorn in the side. Lincoln Riley these last couple of years. Not so much so far today here in Death Valley. 24-13 our score. Greg McElroy, Roy Philpott, Alyssa Lang. Great to have you with us. Wake trying to clinch the Atlantic Division with a win. Alyssa Lang, what's the mood on the Clemson sideline right now?
Yeah, guys, I've been patrolling both sidelines the last couple of minutes, and the Clemson sideline is absolutely electric. Plenty of energy down there, and for good reason. Talking to DJ Uiagalelei and James Skalski this week about what's on the line, I asked them, are you guys having that conversation as far as knowing that you have to win this game to potentially make it to an ACC championship game? They said, of course, we're Clemson. That's the expectation, and I loved what James Skalski said about both sides of the ball when it comes to this team. He said, don't let the narrative fool you. We're still Clemson. We still have dudes on this football team.
Hey, I think they've shown that so far this afternoon. Shipley, the running back. On the far side, Scamper, pick up a couple. Give him 2, maybe 3. Chase Jones credited with the stop. And look, the path to Charlotte for Clemson is quite simple. Starts with a win today.
Yeah, control your own controllables, right? That's, of course, by taking care of business today against one of the best teams in America in Wake Forest. Of course, you need a little help. Wake Forest going to need Boston College to turn things around, and then obviously some things to go their way with NC State. But Clemson's certainly not out of it. And with the way they're playing, I don't think anyone wants to see the Clemson Tigers, especially see that defense and the way they can get after the quarterback.
Prior to snap, ball start. Offense, number 54. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Second penalty against the Tigers today. Greg, you and I talked earlier this week. I asked you a question about Georgia overcoming the Alabama mental hurdle. Does that same idea apply here, where Clemson has won 12 straight against Wake Forest, and now Wake coming into Tiger Town trying to find a way to win a game? They haven't done it in forever. That's also a pretty big obstacle.
Yeah, it is, but I mean, it's only 1 year, right? I mean, every team has a life of their own, and this Wake team's never had the opportunity to play Clemson.
Blockers in front of Shipley, and a first down for the Tigers. Stopped at the 40.
And this is a good job here by Tony Elliott. Little misdirection. This Wake team was starting to really fly around. And you get Shipley out. It's no different than basically a toss sweep or something with a couple blockers out in front. It was well executed with the misdirection. And a nice conversion on second and long.
Gain of 18 yards after that penalty. Pace will get it. Stopped after a short pickup of a yard.
And this is what Wake's really going to have to do here in the next 21 minutes of action. They have got to be good against the run, because so far they've had opportunities at or around the line of scrimmage on several different occasions. They just haven't been able to drop the Clemson ball carry. And that's a testament to Clemson's physicality at running back and their ability to break tackles.
You saw the numbers there on the ground. 212 rushing for the Tigers. Smenda, a nice tackle of Pace. Now critical third down coming up.
That was an unbelievable play by Smenda. He just put Will Putnam the right guard on his behind. A big down and distance here for Wake Forest. If I'm DJ Uiagalelei, the guy that I've trusted most throughout the course of this game in the passing game is Davis Allen. I'm looking in the direction of my tight end. If I can find a favorable matchup with number 84, that's the direction I want to look. It looks like he's going to get some man coverage.
At 6 catches so far today. Uiagalelei heaves it deep. Wake Forest. Time is brought in. Collins has it. Penalty marker down, but that's a Clemson touchdown. Beaux Collins reaching Pater.
Pass interference. Defense, number 6. Penalties decline. Touchdown.
How about the catch by Beaux Collins? One hand, drops it in the bucket. It's a perfect throw from DJ Uiagalelei. And Wake Forest coaches all week said we cannot give up the big play. This team is still very explosive. We can't allow them to create big play opportunities. That time, on a critical third down, Clemson knocks down the door.
Fourth play of 20 yards or more, and for the first time all season, Clemson's offense has come to life.
How about the throw? How about the catch? DJ Uiagalelei constantly questioned, constantly doubted, understandably so. Hasn't played with a lot of confidence this year, but right there in a critical, gotta have it situation, he opts to go with what is a relatively low percentage throw, and it's absolutely perfect. And a great job by Beaux Collins, the outstanding freshman wide receiver, reeling it in and then accelerating through the end zone. Just a thing of beauty there on the pitch and catch.
You saw the smile from Dabo Swinney. It has not been an easy season. The Tigers' 13th year head coach. And Potter will send it to the 1 for the touchback. Don't forget, tonight it's Top Rank Boxing live from Vegas. The main event is a 12-round super fight between undefeated WBO welterweight champ Terrence Bud Crawford and former two-time welterweight world champion Showtime Sean Porter. Prelims start at 7 Eastern on ESPN2, followed by the main card at 9 on ESPN Plus pay-per-view. Get ESPN Plus, go to ESPNplus.com or download the ESPN app.
Very excited about that fight tonight. Look forward to hearing our friend Joe Tessitore on the call.
Diggs get it back. Hartman dropped the football. And who's got it? Wake Forest coming unglued on the road. Tyler Davis comes out of there with it.
There's not much analysis that I can give you on this one. He pulls in and just drops the ball. I don't know if his running back knocked it out of his hands or what it was. Let's take a look here. Yeah, it looks like he just drops the ball as Hartman, for the second time in the last 3 series, right there. Yeah, you see the left arm there of his running back. It looked like it knocked the ball out of his hands. Just unlucky there by the Deacs. They turn it over again inside their own 20.
3 turnovers for Wake Forest, 3 for Clemson. Pace hit the triangle button with a spin and stopped inside the 15.
And we talked about it. You cannot make mistakes against Clemson. You just can't, especially this part of the field. This Wake team, a lot of veteran experience on this roster. Not handling the moment very well at all. Very uncharacteristic from what we've seen in this year.
Handoff, Pace pushes forward. That's a first down. Tigers have it 1st and goal, and Dave Clawson not used to this kind of performance from this team this season. Deacs are 9-1. Uncharacteristic mistakes.
You absolutely have to hold Clemson to a field goal here. Have to.
Lead is already at 18. Uiagalelei probing, spinning, stop inside the 5, near the 4. Look at that big brace on the right knee, and Christian Turner, the fumble 2 series ago. That brace makes it hard to move around. Sprained PCL, index finger with a splint on it. Trying to find a way to will his way to a win here at home on Senior Day. Pace hit at the 2.
You got to think with how your defense is playing. If I'm Clemson, I got 2 downs to get it. I mean, no doubt about it. 4 down territory. This part of the field, the offensive line has been up and down all season long. Here's an opportunity to allow that group to make a statement. Pound the football. You got 2 downs to get it, and that's exactly what I would imagine. It's exactly what I would tell my offense right now if I'm Dabo Swinney and they come to the sideline.
Injured Wake Forest player at the 4. Appears to be Mustafa.
Hopefully he's okay. He was really good earlier, had that outstanding interception. So hopefully he'll be at 100%, be able to get back in this ball game.
Well, don't forget, more college football today over on ACC Network. Up first, 4 Eastern, 20th ranked NC State trying to bounce back after the tough loss to Wake Forest last weekend. Welcome into Orange and Dino Babers, Carter Finley. In the primetime game, Virginia Tech and Miami. Go to getACCN.com for access. A new coach with the Hokies, a new athletic director down at the U. As you look at the Atlantic Division standings, Clemson with a win keeps its championship hopes alive. Wake Forest, the win today would clinch the division, but not the start Dave Clawson was looking for. All right, 2 downs to get the touchdown. What do you like here, Greg?
No doubt about it. I go 2 downs, and at this part of the field, they've had success with it before. I'm going Kobe pace, and I'm going vertical. Just no doubt about it. A-gap to A-gap. I'm running right behind my guards and center. I'm getting pistol, which is, it looks like that's exactly what they're going to run. And I want him to hit at 1,000,000 miles an hour right between the guards.
Pace, 129 rushing yards already and 1 touchdown. They'll get the call here. Make it 2. Clemson pulling away in our 3rd quarter. In a game it has to have.
Great job there by the right side of the offensive line. Walker Parks, number 64, the right tackle, securing the edge and allowing Pace to essentially put this thing on ice with how this Clemson defense is playing.
The pressure really on Sam Hartman. Potter's extra point is good. 38-13. Take a look at today's hardest working player, brought to you by Duluth Trading Company. And how about the running backs, Pace and Shipley, getting it done?
Yeah, they've been outstanding with the depleted wide receiver core. You knew that these running backs were going to have to step up. Both Pace and Shipley have done it all today. They've been very effective running north and south. They've done a great job of making Demon Deacon defenders miss. They have become a really nice 1-2 punch for this offense. Needed to find that reliable offensive identity. They might have found it here today with these 2 running backs in a 1-2 punch, with the speed and effectiveness of both Kobe Pace and Will Shipley.
Dabo Swinney electing to keep Pace and Shipley on the bench last week against UConn, trying to get those bumps and bruises to heal up. Looks like that may have worked out quite nicely. All right, Sam Hartman, Wake Forest, they get it back, Greg, at this point. Got a lot of time, but you mentioned it, Brent Venables and that defense not allowing Hartman to get any kind of rhythm going today.
Yeah, well, it starts with the mistakes. I mean, they can't continue to make mistakes. You make mistakes, it's a wrap. It's already, in some ways, with the way Clemson defense is playing, it feels very much out of reach. But this is a tempo team that can create some momentum. They made some adjustments there at the end of the first half and put together a couple of really nice drives. Now, of course, it's almost 4 down territory at any point in the field, and you got to start really taking into account the clock. It's the 4-possession game right now.
Injuries mounting up for the Deeks in this one. Missing offensive linemen, running backs. Hartman sent it across the way for a gain of 14 and a chain mover. Donald Stewart hauls it in.
And then if I'm Clemson, a lot of teams will get into a prevent. Hey, we don't want to give up big plays. Don't let them throw it over our head. If I'm Clemson, I'm still running what I'm running. I mean, at this point, the pressure packages have been very effective. I'm not getting conservative defensively at all.
Time for Hartman. Has Williams. And right at the marker.
The last thing I want if I'm Clemson's defense is for Sam Hartman and this offense to get in a rhythm. And I think them blitzing and pressuring, that'll get them out of the rhythm very quickly.
And we've seen it in bursts today. Cooley, speaking of bursts, into Clemson territory. That's a first down for the Deeks.
Got to give a lot of credit, too, to Clemson defensively. While they've won at the line of scrimmage against kind of a beat-up offensive line, they've been very disciplined at the second level. So you got to tip your cap to James Skalski, Balen Spector, and the rest of those linebackers. They've made a lot of good decisions on the field and having a lot of big plays.
Offense, number 23. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Now, 5th time today we've seen that out of Dave Clawson's club. Chapman saw him shift right before the snap.
You can see Hartman obviously very frustrated with their inability to eliminate the pre-snap mistakes.
High snap, Hartman corrals it, across the middle, incomplete. Perry, the intended receiver. And a late marker comes in. There certainly appeared to be contact.
Pass interference, defense, number 20. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic, first down.
Yeah, and you'll see the tug of the jersey right there. I mean, very obvious. As it took the official a half second to get the flag out of his pocket, but he was grabbing for it early. So I can understand why the Clemson fans didn't like it, but it's a good call by the official.
That's Nate Wiggins, true freshman corner, getting meaningful reps in this 3rd quarter. Hartman with time. Hartman towards the end zone, looking for Perry against Wiggins, and he bats it down.
Tell you what, that's not an easy matchup. But Wiggins, he has the length at 6'2" to be able to match up against A.T. Perry, who goes at 6'5". You can see how strong he is, too. That's just very, very nicely done by the true freshman.
2nd PBU of his freshman campaign. There goes Cooley. And a hard hit near the 25-yard line. That'll keep the drive going. A first down for Wake Forest.
Big hit there. There's a flag on the field. I don't know if they think that this was targeting or what, but it didn't look like he lowered and initiated the contact with the crown of the helmet.
Flag hiding out right in that shadow.
Right.
Not easy to spot.
Imagine that's probably what they're looking at. Does Goodrich drop his helmet? No, that's clean. Good job by Goodrich.
Personal foul, targeting, defense. That play is under further review.
Matt Austin, what did you see?
From that first view, I didn't see anything that would resemble targeting. So they didn't give a number, so I'm not sure what they thought they saw.
It was Goodrich that came in.
Yeah, this will be overturned. I can understand why everyone's very frustrated because it's not a defensive player. He's a runner. And he doesn't initiate with the crown of the helmet. The contact has to initiate with the crown of the helmet for it to be considered targeting. So I think this will be picked up and it will not result in an ejection.
Yeah, Goodrich, perhaps Clemson's best cover corner this season. Kind of important to have him on the field if you're a fan of the Tigers the rest of this game.
And for the first half of next week as well. So this is obviously a big play, but they will reverse it. I mean, there's no targeting on that foul.
After further review, there is no foul for targeting. First down.
Still a first down for the Demon Deacons, and Dabo Swinney pleased with that reversal.
Might have been the best run of the day for the Deeks too. I mean, that It's really the first time I feel like the offensive line, or really the first time the defensive line for Clemson, it's the first time they were kind of unsound. There was no one to the outside. Usually they've done a really good job of accounting for almost every gap. That was one of the few times that Wake Forest was able to take advantage of it.
Wake Forest had 9 rushing yards before that run for 13 by Cooley. Hartman, pocket collapses, and guess what? Another Clemson sack. Miles Murphy, sack number 7.
That enters the Clemson Tigers into the 40-sack club. That was now every year since 2014, they've had 40 sacks. And they are the only team in college football with a streak like that.
After a loss of 5, it's the slow mesh. Hartman make it another tackle near the line. And KJ Henry with the honors this time.
And you can actually see he's trying to work Perry on what looks like it's going to be a little glance route or a bang 8. Perry slips up, and Hartman has to eat it.
Crowd is in it. Hartman inside the 20. The pass will be caught by Chapman. And now decision time for Dave Clawson.
Great throw there by Hartman. Just painting it on his wide receiver to make this 4th down a little bit more manageable.
So Chapman picks up 11, and here we go on 4th down.
You can hand it off, too. You got a really favorable box for run if you want to.
Hartman, Williams, and that'll keep the drive alive.
Good job there by Williams, making a play on a throw that was slightly behind him.
3 quarters in the books in Death Valley, and a surprise in the Death Valley is rocking on a Saturday. ESPN College Football presented by Marathon. 15 minutes to go. Wake Forest on the move. And movement at the line. Miles Murphy crossed the line of scrimmage.
Well, that's an anticlimactic way to start the 4th quarter.
Offside. Defense, number 98. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
I mean, goodness, hey, everyone's jumping around. They're going nuts. Place is about to lose it. And we jump offside. A little too amped up, I think, along the defensive line. Is that reasonable?
Yes. 10th play of the drive for the Geeks. Trying to sneak back in it on the road. Box was loaded for a second. And it is again. Cooley into the end zone for the Wake Forest touchdown. How about the drive and determination by number 28?
Number 28. Cooley for the touchdown.
What a great job by the right side of this offensive line. You're going to see pressure, all-out pressure from Clemson. But look at the offensive line. I mean, just absolutely destroys Skalski. That's Devontae Gordon, the right tackle. And he slips in behind. Just a great job there by the right side of the Deacs offensive line.
We'll go for 2 to try to make it a 17-point game. Cooley drifts out. Hartman through the progressions and incomplete. 2-point play is no good. As Simpson broke it up. Wake Forest trying to get back into it. First touchdown of the young career of Quentin Cooley. 38-19. State will also be donating to the American Red Cross to help with disaster relief efforts. Thank you, all states.
A little surprised that Wake right now, still a 3-possession game. A little surprised they wouldn't go onside kick here. I know that you don't want to give Clemson the short field, but their defense has struggled to get off the field throughout most of the day-to-day, especially against Clemson's rushing attack.
Short kickoff, fair catch at the 24. We send you back to Matt Berry in studio.
Guys, that ever popular 2 p.m. Eastern kickoff, Notre Dame, Georgia Tech, Irish defense. That is as gift of a pick six as you're going to see. Notre Dame 10-0 over Georgia Tech. Coming up, bottom of the hour when your game concludes. What a big one for Desmond Ridder in Cincinnati. They've got the high-flying SMU Mustangs at Nippert. That coming up in just over 30 minutes here on ESPN.
Yeah, man, SMU, Sonny Dykes, we know they're going to put some points on the board. We'll see what Bearcats and Luke Fickell can do in response. Will Shipley a full head of steam. Gain of 3, maybe 4 on first down.
Call me crazy. It just feels like Cincinnati's due, right? It feels like they're going to have a performance today. I don't know why. There's absolutely nothing in the last few weeks that's led me to believe that. They've had 4 substandard efforts in a row against not so great competition. So what would lead you to turn it on today against what might be the best team not named Cincinnati in the American? I don't know, but I just feel like they're going to put one on SMU today. Maybe I'm crazy.
It's an educated hunch. I like that. We've got big games all afternoon and evening on ESPN Networks. Toss Shipley trying to push his way for first down yardage and stop right at the 35. Well, don't forget, coming up next, Greg was talking about it, 5th-ranked Cincinnati hosting SMU up at the Queen City. And later tonight, what a scene it will be out west. But Desmond Ridder, I'll tell you what a career he's had. The old man getting it done in SMU. We know they can score.
No doubt. And Tanner Mordecai, what a exciting player he's become for SMU. And then Oregon. I think they are in trouble tonight. I love this Oregon team. I think they're very underappreciated. I know they're number 3 in the country, but everyone seems to keep kind of poke holes in their resume. But I think this Oregon team's really good. I think Utah's really good as well.
Could have to beat the Utes twice. Uiagalelei, he could barely run. Picks up a first down nonetheless. Stopped at the 49.
And you see him kind of go down on that right knee, too. That PCL sprain. That's a tough one. That's in the back of your knee, too, that PCL. And the reason I know that is I did it my last year in the league, and it's painful one. So the fact that he's getting through it today, you got to admire his toughness, man. I mean, mentally, he's had his fair share of ups and downs this year in regards to his confidence, but he's leaving it all out there today, man. I mean, he's hanging in there. He's taking hits. He's being physical. I think you could make a case it's one of his best performances of the year.
Shipley on the swing pass. It comes in low. He picks it up.
I really enjoyed talking to DJ Uiagalelei this week, guys. I mean, you talk about a competitor. I started the conversation by saying, "Are you okay?" Coach was talking about you were beat up after the UConn game. He said, "I'm good. I'm ready to go." I talked to him about some of the important things to him as far as this game goes, and he kept reiterating that senior day was so special to them, certainly to come out with a win. 2 straight senior classes would be undefeated here in Death Valley if they're able to get this dub over Wake Forest, and he reiterated how important that was to him to be able to send those seniors off with a bang.
And you can see James Skalski there, of course, the heart and soul of this football team. It's obviously huge what they've been able to accomplish.
Round the edge, Shipley on 2nd and 11. Will pick up 9. It'll make it 3rd and 2. Slocum the tackle. Yeah, how about the emotions of Skalski after running down the hill his last time? And he wasn't just tearing up. I mean, he was crying, hugging his head football coach at the bottom.
Emotions are very heavy on senior day, and that young man's left it all out there on the field for 6 years now. 57 games played, a record here at 67, excuse me, games played, a record here for the Clemson Tigers.
Brenningstool in motion. Wake just trying to get the 4th down to have a chance, and Shipley says, "Not now." It's a chain mover. Tackle to the 41 by Bothroyd, and Clemson maintains possession.
Kind of goes back to my original point at the beginning of this drive, is that so far Wake Forest has not done a great job against the run today. I mean, they've struggled. They've struggled tackling at the line of scrimmage. They've struggled in creating any negative plays, and as a result, both Shipley and Pace are over 100 yards, and they're also both averaging over 6 yards a carry. So I'm still surprised that Wake decided to kick it to Clemson, thinking that their defense would be able to stop them, because they haven't at any point in the first 50 minutes of this football game.
Pace, the running back. Uyunglele hands it right off, and there he goes, Kobe Pace. Another big play, stopped at the 26.
Good job there by the offensive line. And Pace, I wasn't sure what they had with Pace. I don't think any of us really knew, with Travis Etienne going off to the NFL. I don't think any of us really knew what was going to still be here on the roster amongst the running backs. Everyone was very excited about Will Shipley and him coming in as a highly recruited prospect. I think they've definitely found something with the 1-2 punch there, and then you can put in Maffa for the power back downhill.
Deep handoff and Pace ahead to the 25. That's about it. And Clemson content to let this clock run on down on this possession, Greg.
Absolutely. No reason to snap the ball with double digits left on the play clock. You want to let it get down to the 5 and the 6 mark. I'm sure Dabo Swinney would be perfectly okay with that, as far as the game management is from DJ Uyunglele.
Dabo celebrating his 52nd birthday. All he wants, the present, you guessed it, the dub, as Alyssa talked about earlier. And a win today if Clemson holds on. Tiger fans become fans of Boston College next week in Chestnut Hill.
First charge timeout.
And a timeout will step aside as well. Under 9 to go. And number 10 on the ropes.
And in part by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
William Christopher Sweeney through the years. Came to Clemson as a wide receivers coach. Now is the head man. A couple of national championships. And on senior day, his son Will Sweeney, who's never missed a home game even before he became a football player here. The emotions running high with his mom, Kathleen. And how about back in the day, 2007, 14 years ago. Seems like just yesterday, but in fact, hey, Greg, it wasn't.
It's amazing. It really is. And just said he's grown up in this stadium, man. So special for him to be able to share that moment together as a family.
Shipley around the left side. That'll bring up third down.
I mean, Dabo saying yesterday that, you know, his own son is 4 years old. I mean, think about him being able to be at a place. Coaching is a difficult profession. No one denies that. And so many guys on the move, but to be able to have that stability is just amazing. And it's a testament to the program that Dabo's built. And it's so cool that his son is a part of it. And of course, his defensive coordinator has a couple sons involved. It's just a family affair here in Clemson, South Carolina.
Phil Maffa, the running back, on third down. Deeks, if they can hold Clemson to a field goal, it's still a 3-possession game. Maffa, plenty of size, plenty of speed, will be corralled short of the line to gain. It'll be 4th and 2. Nick Anderson reached him first. Let's see what Dabo Swinney elects to do here. Ground game's been working. Tigers almost 300 yards rushing so far, Greg.
Yeah, and the most important thing on this drive is not the result, how many points, it's how much time is now off the clock as a result of this drive. It's a near 7-minute drive for the Clemson Tigers. Which is massive, understanding the circumstances. Wake Forest trying to get back in this ball game.
Clock will wind all the way down inside 7 minutes and 20 seconds, and a timeout finally called. That'll prompt an appearance by B.T. Potter. Busy day around college football. Here's Matt Berry with more.
Guys, Iowa State making it interesting against Oklahoma. Brock Purdy to the talented tight end Charlie Kohler in the end zone. And right now the Cyclones have closed it 28-21 in a big one in the Big 12.
And nobody puts Brock Purdy in a corner, and Matt Campbell finding a way to make that competitive.
What is it about Brock Purdy and that Iowa State team? I just feel like it's always dramatic. That team is the most dramatic team. I mean, just such highs, such lows. But man, they're never boring, that's for sure.
35-yard field goal attempt from B.T. Potter. Splits the uprights. And the Tigers, 41, Wake Forest, 19. Speaking of playoff possibilities, how about playoff invaders? We'll explain that coming up.
I work at FedEx.
Take your career to the next level with one of our many open positions.
Football playoff certainly is on back in Death Valley. 41-19, Clemson leading 10th ranked Wake Forest. Taylor Moore in back deep to receive. This Clemson kick 2 yards deep in the end zone. 5-year-old Atari 2600 going to play our version of playoff invaders this afternoon, Greg. Invade by Donald Stewart. And college football playoff always intriguing. The conversations get interesting this time of year.
Very much so. I think one of the most fascinating conversations is if Cincinnati runs the table. I think they're in great shape. The Big 12, I think, is in a difficult spot. A lot of those matchups are tricky. I think Oklahoma State's a good team for sure. And I think they right now are certainly the best team in the Big 12. I think the Pac-12 is going to cannibalize itself. Would not surprise me as you take a look at these playoff rankings. I think Oregon has to beat Utah twice. I don't like the possibilities of that. So keep an eye, guys. I'm just preparing everybody because everyone's going to lose their mind. Keep an eye on Notre Dame. They have heavily favored against Georgia Tech and then Stanford next week. They're probably going to be 11-1, and I would not at all be surprised, especially if the chaos happens like I think it's going to happen, if Notre Dame makes the college football playoff. And if I had to pick them today, I think it's going to be Georgia 1. I think it's going to be Ohio State 2, followed by Cincinnati and Notre Dame.
How about that? Well, if Notre Dame makes it that far, that's certainly a check mark in favor of the Bearcats, who won in South Bend earlier this season. Deeks now in Clemson territory. The grab by Stewart. The stop by Skowski, a gain of 15.
It'll be really interesting. Of course, Oklahoma State, they're the one that could really disrupt everything there if they can run the table somehow in the next couple weeks and finish at 12-1.
And that Utah-Oregon matchup tonight on ABC 7:30. We'll see the Ducks have the physicality to get it done against the Utes. And there it is, late tonight. Auburn without Bo Nix on the road, just down the road in Columbia. Hey, if Pittsburgh wins against Virginia, they'll punch their ticket to the ACC championship game in Charlotte.
Yeah, and a little more on the line there, too. UVA, obviously not a great defense, so maybe a big opportunity for Kenny Pickett's Heisman potential. If, in fact, he can put together a big game statistically today, does he really enter that conversation? It sounds like, and we, of course, didn't watch it, it sounds like C.J. Stroud made quite the statement today. The Heisman race far from over.
I think I heard Matt Barrett 1.17 for 18 with Stroud. How about the catch by Roberson of the one-handed variety, and it's first down and goal Wake Forest.
How about that catch? Roberson going up. It's a great throw, too, by Hartman, just barely over the outstretched arm of the defender. Just an amazing catch.
Tempo for the Deeks. Hartman keeps it, lasso from behind, and down he goes. Trenton Simpson. The 10th Clemson TFL. It's number 10 Wake and number 10 for Wake, Sam Hartman. Jersey a little messed up today. Second and goal. Hartman nearly picked off. And Ray Thornton got a fingertip on it.
Someone help out my man Sam Hartman, man. Let's fix his jersey for him. I mean, the offensive lineman, you're going to get sacked 10 times or 8 times or whatever. Offensive line's got to fix his jersey for him. Come on, man. Help out my guy.
Deeks have 2 downs to get the touchdown. Hartman directing traffic, floats it, and it's caught. Whitehart Second touchdown grab of the season for number 85. And an onside kick coming. Deacons, some timeouts to work with. Punch in another score.
A great job there on the throw by Hartman. And just barely squeezes it in there. Very tight coverage. As you can see, Wiggins collapsing. A 2-point conversion attempt upcoming for the Beats.
41-25. Lead is 16. And the handoff straight ahead goes Turner, and he got there. 41-27. Christian Turner with a 2-point conversion. Under 5 to go, and certainly an onside kick coming from Wake Forest and Dave Clawson's club. The onside kick. Looking for the second up, and he will not get it. Davis Allen. As we send you back to the studio, here's Matt.
All right, guys, we know SMU, Cincinnati, those fans are starting to tune in to see Tanner Mordecai, see if they can pull off the upset in Cincinnati. If this game runs much longer, we will start it on ESPNU, but our plan for now is to keep it on ESPN. We'll keep you posted. SMU, Cincinnati coming up shortly.
Matt, thank you very much. And Greg McElroy, the prognosticator, thinking that this could be the time where Cincy maybe puts it all together.
I just feel like they're due. I mean, they've kind of just been going through the motions. When they want to turn it on, they can. Man, it's impressive. But golly, they've been streaky. I mean, you look at the first couple drives against Tulsa. I mean, it's a light show. You look last week, had so many great moments against USF, but then they kind of take their foot off the gas, give up a 99-yard touchdown drive. I think Cincy's really good and deserving of the college football playoff conversation for sure. But they have a couple difficult opponents, and I want everyone to just know that East Carolina is no cakewalk. I know that SMU, everyone circled that one for a while. East Carolina, that's a house of horrors for a lot of people. That's a difficult place to play. They'll get it going. The purple haze will be going. It'll be rocking up there in Greensboro. So be careful with a little sandwich game. You know they'll be up for SMU. You know they'll be up for Houston.
Big play. Kobe Pace. Pace, the stiff arm. Pace, power. And stop just short. Talk about the determination, the effort, the hustle. Kobe Pace approaching 200 yards rushing.
How about that stiff arm right there, too? I mean, great effort extending towards the pylon. Just can't get enough. Got to give a ton of credit to this offensive line. And really everybody involved in the run game. They've been fantastic today. And both running backs have been the beneficiaries. Some gaudy stats running the football today from Tigers.
Gaudy stats. Clemson now at over 540 yards of total offense. That is a season high. And Dabo Swinney has talked about it for many weeks. He felt like time and time again this team would put it together on offense. Has not happened until today. And with Pace and Shipley leading that charge.
Yeah, 330 yards on the ground. And nobody expected Wake's defense to come in and just pitch a shutout. I don't think anyone expected that. But this is a really impressive performance with what they've now shown, being able to create a couple big plays. DJ's missed some throws, but he's also made some nice throws, and the run game has been superb.
Deep handoff, Shipley towards the goal line. And the late signal is there for the touchdown. His second rushing score of the day. He also threw for another touchdown. And the Tigers seizing control once more.
Didn't look like he was there initially, but I believe he was on the back of a defender. And as he was, never down there, obviously, extends the ball across the plane. Good awareness there by the freshman. Never down, extend the ball. Put 6 more on the board.
Clemson's Atlantic Division hopes remain alive for one more week. Wake Forest still in control of its destiny to make it to Charlotte. But what an emphatic victory for the Tigers this afternoon. Will Shipley now with 9 touchdowns. Moving on up in some pretty elite company above him, Greg.
Yeah, no question about it. With 2, potentially 3 games remaining, I don't think any of us would be that surprised if he catches the great Travis Etienne on the all-time touchdown mark for freshmen.
Now the winning streak set to reach 34 games in a row here at home, and James Skalski on senior day was a big-time factor. Played in a program record 67 games, which is just mind-numbing in college. Wobbler. Fielded by Moore. And Stock crossing to 15 for more on Skalski. Here's Alyssa.
You guys were just showing James Skalski when the seniors were running down the hill to start this game. It was the loudest cheer that I think I've heard all day here in Death Valley. The mark that he's left on this program has been unbelievable, as has the journey been. As you see Dabo Sweeney give him a big hug there. We were talking to Coach yesterday about what senior day means. He said all these guys are like my son, but for certain ones, there's extra layers to that. And for Skalski, that's certainly one of those stories. Back in his freshman year, he got a call while preparing for game the next day. It was Focus Friday, as they call it here at Clemson. His family calling to let him know that his father had tragically passed away, and things immediately went to beyond football. Dabo Sweeney and the rest of the coaching staff taking Skalski into their hands and trying to help him through that process. It was emotional, but Skalski obviously bonded very closely with his coaches throughout that, now finishing undefeated here in Death Valley, which is going to be huge for this team to be able to send him and the rest of those seniors off with the dub.
Just an amazing story, and obviously just a story of tragedy. And obviously, I think all of us, as you cover these guys, I mean, I feel like I've been covering Skalski forever. You know, and I've seen him play in some enormous games and have some great moments. And it's fun when you're in this position to be able to watch a guy grow up before your eyes. I mean, it's a special thing. He's had a tremendous career, and I think all of us will remember the impact he had on this Clemson team from a toughness and a leadership standpoint the last several years.
Snap, false start. Offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And we asked Brent Venables, too. Brent, how emotional will you get on senior day with a player like Skalski and all that he's meant, especially as a linebacker, position that Brent Venables obviously coaches? And he said, yeah, you know what? It's going to hit me. And he paused and reflected for a moment, realizing, hey, it's the last time he'll be running down the hill. And what a way to go out to do it like this against a top 10 team, protecting the home turf. But again, we'll mention it. Hey, Wake Forest, still plenty to play for. Still a great opportunity next week at Boston College. Win and you're in next week in Chestnut Hill.
Absolutely. And Boston College, of course, a team that came up a little short today against Florida State. So you know Boston College and Jeff Hafley will have a good plan for this Wake team, but such a tremendous season. And today's performance does not reflect the quality that Dave Clawson has put on this field each and every week. They've had their fair share of ups and downs. Today was just a little too much against a very talented roster. Still, all their goals still right in front of them.
Monty Marshall, Wake Forest running back. Michael Kern in at quarterback. Derek Carter the stop, numero 0 in orange and white.
Hopefully for Wake Forest, they get all their guys back. I mean, they're banged up. Hopefully Christian Beal-Smith and Justice Ellison will be back, get their center back, and Michael Juergens. So hopefully next week they'll be back at 100% and be ready to push their way into Charlotte for the ACC championship game.
Big win for the Tigers at home. They'll win their 4th game in a row, proving to 8-3 on the season and perhaps entering into the top 25 college football playoff poll next week. 3rd down and 11. Marshall on the left side as time continues to wind down. I've enjoyed working with you guys this week. Be back with Joe Tessitore on Thursday for Thanksgiving. Our producer Scott Matthews, our director Jeff Evers. And it has been a fun week getting ready for this one. An emotional week for Dabo Swinney. And his team finds a way protecting the home turf. 34 wins in a row, and more importantly, their Atlantic Division Championship hopes still alive.
As much as adversity as this Clemson team's had to experience with injuries and ups and downs, the fact that they're still alive in the ACC is remarkable. It's a testament to their players for hanging in there and continuing to battle.
48-27, the final score. Coming up right now, SMU and 5th-ranked Cincinnati. We'll send you to the Queen City. Here's Bob Wischusen and Dan Orlovsky.